It was a cold February night in a quiet suburb outside Cleveland, Ohio. Jason lived alone in a modest single-story home, tucked back from the street with a wide front yard and a creaky wooden porch. He had been up late scrolling on his phone in bed, unable to sleep. At exactly 3:02 a.m., the sound shattered the silence. Ding dong! The doorbell echoed through the house. Jason froze, phone in hand, staring into the dark hallway leading to the front door. Nobody sane rings a doorbell at 3 a.m. He lay still for a moment, convincing himself he had imagined it. But then, ding dong, ding dong. This time, impatient, rapid presses. Jason's chest tightened. He crept out of bed, barefoot on the cold floor, and peeked through the blinds of his front window. No car in the driveway, no movement on the street, just the faint glow of a street lamp and the crisp shadows of barren trees. He tiptoed toward the door, keeping the lights off. The peephole offered only darkness. Whoever was out there stood deliberately just out of sight. Jason cleared his throat, forcing his voice steady. "Who's there?" No answer. Then a voice came, low and muffled, like it was pressed against the wood. "Can you help me?" Jason's stomach dropped. The voice was flat, emotionless, neither male nor female, almost rehearsed. "I'm calling the police," he shouted, hoping it was enough to scare them off. Silence followed, a long silence. Jason pressed his ear to the door. He could hear faint breathing. Then, suddenly, 3 sharp knocks rattled the wood. Bang, bang, bang. Jason jumped back. His instincts screamed at him to stay quiet. He dialed 911, whispering his address to the dispatcher. She told him to stay on the line and not open the door. But just as he did, the doorbell rang again. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, over and over, faster, more frantic, until it became one continuous shrill tone. Jason dropped the phone in panic, and then everything stopped. No doorbell, no knocking, no breathing. The house was silent again, except for his own pounding heart. Jason crouched by the window, phone shaking in his hand, waiting for the red-blue flash of patrol lights. It felt like an eternity before 2 officers finally pulled into his driveway. He ran to meet them, explaining what had happened. They swept the property, flashlights cutting across the yard and porch. Nothing. No footprints in the thin frost. No sign of forced entry. One officer frowned, saying, "Could be a prank. Kids sometimes test doorbells late at night." Jason wanted to believe it, but something about that voice didn't feel like a prank. The officers left after a while, advising him to keep the doors locked and call again if it happened. Jason tried to calm down, but his nerves wouldn't let him sleep. He left the living room light on, sitting upright on the couch until dawn. Morning, he convinced himself it was a strange, isolated incident. But the next night at exactly 3:02 a.m., the doorbell rang again. Jason's blood ran cold. This time, he didn't move. He stayed on the couch, phone clutched in his hand, staring at the front door. Ding dong. Then, softly, the same voice. "Can you help me?" Jason felt a chill crawl up his spine. He turned on every light in the house, hoping to scare them off. But when he finally gathered the courage to peek outside, nothing. On the porch, however, something new waited. a small, neatly folded piece of paper placed directly on the welcome mat. Jason hesitated before opening the door, but curiosity won. He grabbed it quickly and locked the door again. The paper was blank, except for 3 words scrawled in shaky handwriting. "Let me in." Jason's hands trembled as he stared at the note. He checked the frost on the porch again. Still no footprints. No sign that anyone had ever been there. That was the last night Jason stayed in that house. He moved out within the week, breaking his lease and never looking back. But sometimes, in the dead of night, in whatever place he tries to call home, he swears he hears it again. Ding dong, always at 3:02 a.m.